What's happening, folks? Welcome back to the channel. It's full-time reaction to Aston Villa 4, Celtic 2 here at Villa Park. I've got Scott with me to go over it. Scott, I suppose we'll start for the beginning. Good atmosphere before the game, and then 5 minutes in, 2-0 down, and you're fearing the worst at that point.
Shocking start, mate. Honestly, you told me before the game that number 27 Rodgers was a player. And you weren't lying. He's put 2 in 5 minutes, and see, for that point you just think, this is when are we getting up the road at this point? Give me 30-40 minutes and we're walking out the place. But a letdown. Bounced back a wee bit. In fact, see, just there 2 goals. I thought the second goal was a screamer. You think it's took a nick?
I think it took a wee deflection off Scales.
Off the Scales. I'm still not convinced.
You see it back?
Let's say it did, and let Kasper make it off it.
Hamza behind the camera's giving us a thumbs up.
Right, so it did
deflection off
right,
Scales.
okay. Bit of bad luck for us then. And then we'll bounce back a wee bit unexpectedly. I did not see that coming. They've scored 2 goals in 2 minutes. We got the park at, 35 minutes or so? 36. And we scored 2 goals in 2 minutes. So that turned it into a proper game.
I think, obviously, we just needed to find our feet after that first 5 minutes. And we did gradually just calm things down a wee bit. And obviously, it's a half-hour on. We started getting a wee bit more play in their third, and I think that both goals are really, really well worked. I think Jan gives it a square pass into Hatate, and Hatate plays a lovely ball out wide for Greg Taylor.
Brilliant.
And it's a good ball, and we get a bit of luck because John McGinn, who's come on for Matty Cash, who got injured at right back, just slides in and it puts it straight to Idah's path. It was muted celebration, obviously, but back in the game, and then I thought the second goal was brilliantly worked as well.
It was superb. Just that first goal, Idah is in the right place at the right time, but it's a wee bit awkward for him to get his foot on it. But he does that. The second one, that comes in for the right-hand side, doesn't it? A kind of typical Kyogo goal, wasn't it? Just been in the right place, and then he's had to put it above the keeper. And I'm really happy that he's got a couple of goals because he's not really been contributing that much. Obviously, he's been coming off the bench, has started a few games as well. I think he's had plenty of game time, and he'll be upset with his return this year. So I'm relieved that he's got a couple of goals, especially in a Champions League game. Obviously, it didn't turn out to be a good result, but see, for a striker to get these goals, it's massive.
That should do his confidence world good. I think it's maybe 13 or 14 games coming into tonight without a goal. I know he was involved in the goal last week, and he sort of creates it with his run, and then he gets the luck with the own goal. But to get on the score sheet himself, that will do his confidence the world of good tonight. I thought the second goal in the build-up, I think it's Johnson into Engels, or Kuhn into Engels, and Engels has a lovely touch around the corner for Hatate, and Hatate put a lovely ball across the goals. And I think for Idah, really good finish because it's the keeper's coming out on top of him and he just puts it in the roof of the net. I thought Hatate was one of the best players on the pitch for us all night.
He was good tonight. It was good, and it can go either way with Hatate. A bit inconsistent, but see, at the end of the day, if he could play like that every single week, he probably still wouldn't be at Celtic.
Well, I was just going to say, do you think that's a factor? Because I mentioned it before the game. Brilliant against Leipzig, he was good against Young Boys last week. One of his better performances of the season tonight. It's almost like he can be arsed in the Champions League and he steps up and plays like that, and you just want him to do it more consistently.
I know you want him to do it at Ross County, don't you? But at the end of the day, we're probably not going to get the full picture. He's a brilliant player, and I've seen him at Champions League nights this year where he's seriously let us down as well. And I think sometimes he lacks concentration. I didn't see him do it tonight. See these balls, and we talk about it all the time. He doesn't know who's in the middle of the park. He's maybe on the edge of the park, and he's just done a wee round the corner, not even looking into the middle of the park. Just
having said
danger.
Having said that, actually, he does play a bad pass in the build-up to the second goal for Aston Villa. In the corner, Taylor, remember, we're in the corner trying to work out, and he just plays a ball in. And we managed to kind of rescue it, and Schmeichel ends up booting it up the pitch, and then I think Konsa gets in front of Idah, and that did come for Hatate's slack pass. But I thought, other than that, because I know we'll get corrected in the comments, he was involved in that second Aston Villa goal. But other than that, I thought he had a decent performance all round. Second half, again, missing key players tonight. Obviously, Carter Vickers out, Maeda suspended. We've lost Kyogo, so those are 3 key players for us. And you just felt we had to try and get a hold of the ball at spells in that second half. Early on, Aston Villa were sort of having wave after wave, and we were managing to clear the danger, but they were just coming right back at us. And it's actually, we finally get up the pitch, we get a bit of a chance. I think it's Johnson down the right hand side, he puts the ball in, and then we just get killed on the counter attack. I think there's 2 opportunities to foul. I think Scales goes in on Morgan Rodgers.
And he's very high up the park as well.
He is high up the park, and it looks like we're really pressing Aston Villa in, but it was a chance for us to get up the pitch. We almost created a chance, and we went right in at them, and they got it out. Rodgers does well, he sort of rides the tackle of Scales. Could Scales do more to try and foul him? Possibly. And then Engels gets in a race with John McGinn, and you just can't shift John McGinn. Again, I think Engels maybe even tries to foul him.
I thought that was McGregor during the game. I was convinced it was McGregor that was in that duel. But if it was Engels, I mean, you're not going to beat John McGinn. But see, at a chance like that, like you're saying, just pull him down.
Just foul him by any means necessary, innit? And then after that, you're just, again, thinking about the first half, losing the 2 goals in 2 minutes. You're just looking for us to try and get through the next 5 or 10 minutes unscathed. I think Aston Villa have another chance. And then 2 minutes later they get a penalty. It looked a clear penalty from where I was. I think Yang turns the ball over. I thought he was poor all night, Yang. I think we know he's just not at the level. He's not Celtic level, let alone Champions League level for Celtic. Turns the ball over. I could see for the end of the pitch it looked like Trusty had fouled Watkins. And then your man gives a shout for your man in the crowd.
Aye, brilliant guy about 3 or 4 behind me kept shouting Gareth Southgate before the penalty, and I'm just thinking, obviously he's wanting to put this over the bar. I don't know how he's seen the future, obviously. Should I ask the guy for the lottery numbers for next week as well? I mean, he's put it over the bar. Probably the worst penalty I've ever seen in my life. And it wasn't even given as a Celtic by kick. It was given as a free kick.
He kicked it twice.
He's double kicked. Embarrassing one for him, but I got off lightly a wee bit there. And then coming back for the 4th goal, that was a total sickener for us. It was a wee bit of shame.
Dane Murray in it. Dane Murray comes on. Obviously, Idah goes off. He did pull up. He does that chance where he could maybe have tried to cut it back for Palma. He goes near post for Martinez, goes out for a corner, and he pulls up. I don't know if it's his calf, but he did pull up. I think that's why he came off. Daniel Cummins came on to replace him. Dane Murray came on to replace Scales. And we're in added time, and I thought late in the game, Aston Villa were obviously trying to hang on to their lead to make the top 8. They ended up doing it, of course, but I thought in that last 5 minutes there was maybe a chance for us just to get the ball forward, but we're really struggling to progress it out of defence. And then into added time, you're thinking just give us one more chance and get the ball at the pitch, try and scramble a chance out of nowhere. And we've got the ball in the right back area, our throw in, and Dane Murray just gets caught on it. Listen, he makes a mistake. He's a young kid making his Champions League debut. Can't be too harsh on him, and it's academic really. It was going to be 3-2. As in added time, it ends up 4-2. I suppose the big takeaway is that if we'd finished 23rd or 24th, I think it would have been Dortmund, or I can't remember the other team, but now it's Real Madrid or Bayern Munich in that playoff.
I'd rather not go back to Madrid. To be honest with you, who would you rather?
I'd probably rather Bayern Munich. Maybe marginally easier. I think they get beat 3-0 by Feyenoord the other week there. So maybe at home, we're at home first as well. So we've just got to try and be in a position where we're still in the tie, going over the second leg. But that's to be decided on Friday. Whether it is Real Madrid or Bayern Munich, it could still be both. But I'd rather it was Bayern Munich, and I love Munich, so I wouldn't mind going back there.
I know that.
Any other standouts for you tonight for us in terms of decent performances? Either getting the goals. We've talked about Hatate.
Before I talk about decent performances, we kind of glazed over Yang's performance, right? But that's not good enough. That's just not good enough. See, at points he makes mistakes. At points he doesn't try and go by a man. At points he doesn't seem like he's got the confidence to actually put a ball in the box or to hit a shot, which is strange because he's got a bit of pace, right? But see, the thing for me tonight was that it looked like he didn't even understand the system. There's times where Aston Villa are coming down our left side and Greg Taylor's having to shout at Yang and tell him to press the guy because Greg Taylor's dealing with 2 people on his own. Yang's just got no idea defensively where to be, and when we do get the ball, a couple of times Hatate has done well to maybe get by somebody or roll somebody, and he's ran forward into a bit of space looking for somebody to pass to Yang, the winger, who should be bursting down the line to show him an option, is just jogging behind him. And Hatate's up there obviously going to get the ball robbed off him because he's got no options. It's infuriating, mate. It's just no football.
I think he was really poor, Yang, tonight. That's an area of the pitch, obviously we'll have Jota available for the playoff. We talked about it on the way down, didn't we? Talk about the difference between Yang and Jota. It's worlds apart, isn't it? Worlds apart for us. I think tonight, obviously it closes off the campaign over the 8 games. 2 defeats. After that match day 2 in Dortmund, you did fear the worst, but we responded really well for that, and over the course we've had a good league phase, haven't we?
I think we've done brilliant. I know that we get a really good draw, and we can't forget that, but we've had good draws before in the past. Not often, but we've had good draws before in the past, and we've made nothing of it. It's been a fantastic campaign. Some of the goals we've scored have been amazing. Some of the draws, like the draw at Atlanta, that was major. That's just like we always have it in us to get like a freak result here and there, but see, to sustain like a level of attack for like a quality opposition and grind out results, like we've showed that we can do that. So I'm really happy with it.
Aye, I suppose the only other area of the team, if you're thinking about striker, Cummins has to come on. Good to see him getting his debut, but if there is going to be any injury problems with Idah, that sort of highlights the need for a striker, doesn't it? I know Dyson can go in and play in there, but you'd like to see sign a striker in the next 5 or 6 days, eh?
I mean, the manager's desperate to sign a striker. We're under pressure, obviously, because the Kyogo thing's happened quite late. But it seems like the manager said the club were well aware that Kyogo wanted to go and that he probably would go. So they probably have got targets lined up, and I know there's some rumours kicking about. But I think we need someone because Maeda's good in that position, and he can score goals for us. And it makes a bit of sense now that we've got Jota. You don't want to have Maeda out of the team, and that's going to become a bit of a debate. In a contested position, so we need somebody else.
Just last bit on tonight, how do you find it in there, the experience, atmosphere?
I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. There wasn't any issues getting in and out the stadium, which I was surprised at. Probably one of the
we were early. We were early enough.
We were in early, but I thought the stadium was cool and the atmosphere was good. And I enjoyed it. Probably one of my favourite away trips, minus the result, obviously. But I don't think I've seen us get a decent result away from.
Aye, no, and I think after the first 5 minutes to get back level at 2-2 and then to be in the game second half, you wouldn't have called that after 5 minutes tonight, would you?
No, I'm more than happy with that. See it 3-2, you're even thinking, can maybe we go and do this again, get another couple of goals in 2 minutes. But I think we probably gave it our all. They were by far the better team. Athletically, the speed they've got, the power, the strength in some of these guys. 4-2 probably wasn't too harsh on us, to be honest with you. They probably deserved that fourth goal with some of the chances, because Kasper Schmeichel's counted at least 4 world-class saves. One of them's because he's just passed the ball. He's put McGregor under major pressure, and but he's made a brilliant save for there. But he saved us at least another 3 times on top of that. So it could have been a lot worse.
Aye, absolutely. There you go. That's it for the Champions League phase. That's it from Villa Park. Like the video. Give us your own thoughts on tonight's game below, and I'll see you tomorrow on the next video. Cheers.